Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to talk about Arbitrum. Finally.
And optimistic rollups.
And OP. It's OP, dude.
Yeah, OP season. So yesterday was the day of all days where Coinbase became based, right, for the first time in history.
Yeah.
Announcing their layer 2 ecosystem, right?
Right.
To Ethereum. And we're like, holy shit, dude, nobody saw that one coming.
Yeah.
And then they also announced they're going to be using Optimism, which is, I guess, a provider of optimistic rollup technology frameworks in order to do this. So we're like, damn, son, Optimism is pretty OP. So that means Arbitrum, who are also using optimistic rollups, probably also OP, right?
Optimism, official account of the Optimism Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah, Optimism has a token. So we looked into Arbitrum. We have to talk about them in tandem because they're basically leading this whole optimistic rollup charge into like this. This is the now solution to Ethereum, right? So we look into Arbitrum and damn, dude, they have a booming ecosystem, right? Things are happening.
Yeah, let's
not like promised to happen. Like it's going on right now.
Total value locked on Arbitrum, $3.36 billion.
And that's nothing to scoff at, dude. That's a sizable liquidity pool. You know what I mean?
Roll-up market share, 53%. Total number of users, almost 3 million.
Yeah.
And then ETH gas saved 445 million.
So these are some great metrics to tout, dude. No wonder it's the first thing you see on their website.
Yeah. So if we go back to, let's talk about the technology. Yeah. So we keep talking about optimistic rollups and then zero knowledge rollups.
Yeah, we've been pretty bullish on ZK, mostly because, we are Polygon app developers ourselves. Mm-hmm. So we're very in the know of what Polygon wants to do, right? They want to launch their own ZK EVM compatible solution for all of us builders. And then we saw ZKsync is already pretty much like mainnet was launched a couple weeks ago or something. Yeah. So ZK is on its way too, but fuck, man, optimistic rollups have been happening all along, right? So,
by the way, Vitalik is stamping the stamp of approval on ZK.
Yes,
and so that's why.
Why? Yeah, why?
Well, so let's talk about the technology. So now, optimistic rollups. The reason why it's called optimistic is because they're being optimistic about the transactions they're processing.
Okay.
So what do I mean by that?
Yeah.
So they're being optimistic and they're assuming that every transaction has no fraud embedded into it.
Okay.
If you find fraud,
it's definitely not like a good assumption to make.
Right. It's definitely not, right?
Yeah.
So if you find fraud, there's a process where you can submit these transactions as fraudulent, and then you have to prove that they're fraudulent.
Yeah, which sounds incredibly challenging.
And there's a community, I guess, members who are incentivized to actually process these fraud proofs.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of like it is what I like to see from like a Web3 ecosystem, like a complexity of that layer, like where there's some real servicing being done on the behalf of participants in that ecosystem, kind of like the graph or Chainlink, right? There's multiple actors in order for that valuable service to actually function and be reliable and trusted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're doing another one of these.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So optimistic rollups, they depend on that optimism.
Yeah.
Right, for transactions to go through. And if you wanted to extract money from that network, you'd have to wait a week just because they wanted to make sure that there's no fraud in your...
So that's just like the period where they give these members of that ecosystem...
You got a week to come up with fraud if there's any.
Correct. So it's just... because this isn't like some AI that's handling all this, right? These are people.
Dude,
right?
That's a good implementation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's in the works. I think that's probably what Fetch is and others.
That's true.
So we got to make some videos about that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, this is very human centric. Very like there's human intervention required in order to validate and verify all this stuff. So
So that was the optimistic part, right? The optimism part. What about the roll-up part? So roll-up, in case you don't know, is they're taking a bunch of transactions and they're processing these transactions off-chain.
Okay.
Right? And then they're rolling them up in a single transaction and then moving it to the main chain, which is Ethereum.
Gotcha.
And so Ethereum is processing just a single transaction, but that single transaction represents, maybe thousands of transactions.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So therefore, decluttering ETH space, it's block space, right?
That's right.
So therefore,
now your games are operating on the second layer. You're trading your NFTs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thousands of transactions all being rolled up into a single submission to the main chain.
Very nice, dude. So this seems to be, and ZK is not much different, right?
No, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The only difference is there's no optimism in ZK transactions. So what that means is basically every transaction that happens on the zero knowledge proof technology is the truth.
Okay.
So if I steal your private key and I move your funds on the ZK network or a ZK technology platform, that I steal your funds and that's it. Basically how it works on every single layer 1 chain.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there's no way to like revert fraud.
No, there isn't.
Really?
Which I feel like that's the way to go.
So what is this whole complex mathematics thing that's happening on the ZK side, right? Because that's in place of having like a week-long grace period for like humans to kind of figure out fraud.
Well, there's no math that can be done to determine fraud, right? So I'm not sure what that's referring to. I mean, that's beyond the scope of this conversation. We can get into it probably in a specific ZK tech.
It's got to be very important and critical to the differences between the two, right? Because I think that is, there's going to be obviously like much more computational requirements, I guess, in order to,
it could be just linking blocks together. It could be linking transactions with each other. It's just
but clearly there's something on the ZK side that's technically much more like unproven, right? Because that's why it's taking longer for these ZK things to hit the market. Of course, ZKsync's already here with their version. Polygon's very soon. So it's kind of like we're going to have to wait and see thing, see if it actually works out. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have to wait very long because Polygon is about to release their mainnet on the 27th of March.
Yeah, so this is going to be like a main narrative of this year. It's like watching optimistic roll-up ecosystems like Optimism and Arbitrum just continue to explode.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's going to maintain this trajectory of like, for one, I think, developers, they've always been looking for the best, scalable environment for it's still associated to Ethereum. And of course, the speculators, the degens, they're going to want to take part in these ecosystems too, because it's going to make their UX improvements.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a technology now that can scale the transactions, you use that, right? You use it now, right? You don't wait for like the better technology because your business could go under, or you might miss a wave, right? So
exactly,
you got to implement what's available, and right now, Coinbase is implementing Optimism. And so we got an explanation here on this thread on how the difference between Optimism and ZK.
Yeah, and Arbitrum and Optimism combined, on this thread, it's roughly 70% of the whole market share.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
That's right there.
Yeah, 74% market share between Arbitrum and Optimism.
Yeah, so Optimism, I mean, just bagged base literally yesterday. So you're gonna have to give that ecosystem some time to construct and to deploy all these different smart contracts and all these activities. And then, it's another wait and see. We'll see how well Coinbase does at galvanizing like an actual ecosystem, right? Yeah,
I'm going to be, keeping an eye on that because they got access to 130 million people on their platform.
Correct. So if anybody has like a good shot at building one of the more robust ecosystems, it's Coinbase, right? So,
So just to give you perspective, Arbitrum has under 3 million.
Yeah, that's it's fucking massive difference. So for most of 2023, I think Optimism will win out, and then the Polygon and ZKsync and all these other ZK solutions are going to have to spend a little bit of time, I guess, proving and I guess showcasing and getting enough confidence from the developer side. Like, hey, man, this shit does work.
Yeah,
it is many magnitudes more efficient and better, I guess, at performance than optimistic rollups are. So fucking come over here, dude. Come build your apps over here.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean that's what the narrative is going to be in the future. Where it's like, why are you waiting a week for you to extract your funds on Optimism where it's instant over here?
It's true. That's definitely going to be like a good little
jab.
Yeah, a good little counterpoint to OP.
Yeah. So, okay, let's take a look here. So we have
activity of growth, dude. So this is what you want to see, right?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, these are the kind of charts that really get your waters like, or
your mouth watering.
There you go. They get your chops a little watery, dude. You're like, licking your lips a bit, dude. Like these are the selling charts. It's like, fuck, dude, something is happening.
Yeah, so we're looking at active users weekly.
Yeah.
So from August 2021
basically
all the way
since
through
launch,
now.
yeah. It's just a steady fucking, and it's looking explosive. Like this is a nice exponential growth you want to see.
That's interesting, dude.
It is interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And then, of course, another good thing you want to see, like from any ecosystem, is where are the apps at? So this is a portal that showcases. So this is another thing to keep in mind. Optimism has a token, and we covered that yesterday.
Yeah,
600 million roughly market cap, upside potential, mirroring Polygon, which is sitting 10 billion plus. It's like we're talking pretty significant upside potential to that.
Yeah,
Arbitrum, no token.
No token. Yeah.
So WTF, mate? Like, why are we even making a video? Well, you can look in to see what native applications are being built in the Arbitrum ecosystem, and these are, very, very, very worthy of your attention. In my opinion.
MetaMask, DAI, obviously Coinbase wallet.
Yeah, I guess those won't be good examples of like native apps. I guess if you can go to DeFi Llama, you have one of those.
I had it open
right there at the end.
Oh, this one, yeah.
This is probably the best source you want to go to. Like this tells you the aggregate TVL and their DeFi system, and then it's got literally the ranks right here of all their different DeFi apps below.
Yeah.
So GMX being a derivatives platform, derivatives obviously a ginormous market.
A Zyber swap,
probably a token swapping protocol, and look, it's only on Arbitrum, so that's their native. Basically, think of that as their Uniswap of Arbitrum.
Or a quick swap of
there
Polygon.
You go. Exactly. So if you're looking for some sort of like something to sink your teeth into, I would kind of like go down this list and do a deep dive in all of them.
Man, look at all this activity, dude.
Well, these are, yeah, dude. Why do you think we're fucking making this video, dude?
Yeah.
DeFi Llama is so useful, man. Look at this.
It is.
It's so nice. So, and then, explore this app. This is not paid sponsorship at all or endorsement for DeFi Llama. We just genuinely think it's a very useful tool.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the portal. So they have a NFT sector here, filter.
Sure.
And
I was looking at one of their games.
Is there anything in there?
It's probably lag sauce. NFTs.
There's gotta
snap,
be some
dude.
NFTs.
What about NFT Marketplace?
What about gaming?
There you go.
Okay,
gaming is lit.
Some games.
So speaking of gaming, I looked into Starfall. So there's another link up there that we could click on. Let's just watch a little bit of Starfall. And the reason why it's interesting to me is because it's a MOBA.
Oh, okay.
And it looks, TJ, I want your opinion here. Can you go like to just click on Starfall? Like, let's take a look. Yeah, dude.
This one right here?
Yeah. What do you think, TJ? Would you play this?
Dude, it looks like they're new.
Looks Dota-esque.
It looks like a legitimate MOBA. Like Dota, League of Legends. I think Pokemon has a MOBA.
Yeah.
It looks like League of Legends, which nonetheless, whether or not it's a good or bad thing, is like games that emulate other existing games a little too much.
Yeah.
That's always challenging, right? But nonetheless, this looks like a very competent game. I looked through their socials. They have a very engaged community.
Okay.
These are all very bullish signs. Like, there's real play-to-earn games emerging on Arbitrum. It's not just all on
Okay.
Yeah, dude,
like
if I could earn every hour of Dota I played, I'd be rich.
Yeah, I always said that too.
Yeah.
I spent like almost 8 years playing that game. Imagine if, just accumulating some Valve tokens or something, some Steam bucks. That would have been nice, dude. So these things are emerging. Play to earn games. It's on a little bit of a depression state right now because of tokenomics and stuff, such. But nonetheless, everybody keeps saying it's like, what's going to fix all that, right? The funness of the game itself. So this looks like a pretty good game. I would actually participate in. So, and guess what? It's on Arbitrum.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So, so we had talked about the games.
And those are just a shit ton of dexes.
shit ton of dexes. All right, fiat on ramps, directory, stable coins. Okay, yeah. So they have everything here. So they have the whole spectrum of types of text or types of
well, yeah,
apps.
dude. You would expect such. That would be very disappointing if they didn't. This is a general purpose, blockchain, I guess, layer. So you could deploy anything on here. That's the whole point.
Okay, yeah, it's EVM compatible. So
correct. So all this stuff is still on Ethereum.
Yeah,
using what we just talked about, right? The rollup solution. So
that's right. That's right.
There's a lot to be bullish here on Arbitrum, but like we said, there is no token, right? But there is plenty of evidence and proof of an emerging ecosystem here.
Right. If their competitors, Optimism, right, they have a token. How do you compete with somebody that has a token? You launch a token.
That's pure speculation, right? Because nowhere is it indicated that they're planning on launching one. I'm pretty sure for either they legit don't need one because you don't really.
Yeah.
It seems to be doing just fine without one. But I mean, come on, it's still worth speculating on. And what we think everyone should do is start interacting with all these apps that are being built on Arbitrum, just as like a fucking, what do you call it? Like
just to explore the apps. Yeah,
just to see what does it feel like, in comparison to apps on Polygon or apps on Solana or apps on whatever the fuck.
Or just transacting on Ethereum in the first place.
Yeah, but like Ethereum smooth.
Yeah.
What is that experience like?
Yeah.
But really, it's like that little dipping your toes into that might result in a future airdrop if it ever comes.
Yeah.
Right? Like we like to,
who wouldn't want free income, right?
Really? Yeah. Really? Because remember, way back in the day, Uniswap did it.
That's right. Yeah.
And luckily, we were one of the earlier users of Uniswap. Dude, I remember I spun up all these different wallets just by, I don't know why I did that. It wasn't like...
You weren't gaming it. You weren't trying to maximize...
I didn't think... I knew at some point probably a token was going to come, especially after all the
but it was useful
attacks.
without tokens.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
But, these things, if they want to become more decentralized over time, you're going to need to introduce some sort of governance component, right? So therefore, you're going to need some tokens to distribute to your community.
That's right.
Right? So... It's worth a hedge, in other words.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So never just bucket yourself to a single silo, right?
And, I mean, if you're going to be perusing around different cryptocurrencies, it's good just to, dabble and get into this stuff.
1,000%. Yeah, man. So Arbitrum, exciting. Fuck, man. Ethereum, very exciting because, just nonstop L2 action.
Yeah.
Seems to be growing by the day, and it's super bullish for the whole space because now developers are... They're going to go ham here soon. And they're going to introduce a bunch of new shit that we haven't seen before. And that's going to bring a whole new market mania, right?
So you still think Ethereum is going to do the flippening on Bitcoin, huh?
It's almost a certainty at this point, dude.
That's the hopium I need.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know if you guys are on the Arbitrum network trying different applications. Let us know what you think. Is it better than Ethereum? Right? Let us know in the comment section below. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at Meadows.io, and at RoviAI. And we will catch you on the next video.
Peace.